The Minnesota Timberwolves have just made their first conference finals appearance in 20 years due to their young star Anthony Edwards. Despite having stars like Cat and Rudy Gobert, it is clear that the Wolves have built this team around 22-year-old Anthony Edwards. His athletic ability, unwavering confidence, and killer mentality has not only made him a top 10 player in the league, but one of the faces for the next generation. The Timberwolves finally have their first true superstar since KG. Not only has Ant revived the Timberwolves franchise, but he has also cemented himself as one of the most likable players in the league, drawing comps to MJ, Wade, and Kobe. However, 1 year before this, the Wolves had just drafted who they believed was their star of the future. Being one of the most forgotten busts of the past decade, having Anthony Edwards overshadow you the next year certainly doesn't help. From drawing Jimmy Butler comps to being out of the league at just 23, Jarrett Culver has never really gotten a chance. Not only did Ant overshadow Jarrett Culver in his entire career, but he also fulfilled the destiny and path that Andrew Wiggins was supposed to take over as a young star. Before we dive into how Anthony Edwards saved the Wolves, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Jarrett Culver had so much hype surrounding him entering the 2019 draft out of Texas Tech. In hopes of being an NBA star, I remember his draft stock quickly rising, heading up to the draft. He sort of came out of nowhere, but with some people believing that he could be the best player in the draft, with names like Zion and Ja Morant, it wasn't surprising when he went 6th to the Timberwolves. His most known comp was Jimmy Butler, as he was a 6'6" guard who was good on defense and had the ability to develop like Butler. He had the same frame and some similar traits. Butler had just played for the Wolves the prior season as well, so the comparisons were easy to make. In hopes of finding a guard player to pair up with Cat after the Jimmy Butler experiment failed, Jarrett Culver was expected to make an immediate impact and become a star. The pair of Cat and Jarrett Culver looked to be promising for the future, but this never panned out. Heading into his rookie season, the Wolves were already very deep in the guard position, with names like D'Lo, Jeff Teague, Malik Beasley, and Josh Okogie were all contributing pieces to this team prior to Culver getting drafted. Not to mention former first overall pick Andrew Wiggins, who could play anywhere from the 2 to 4. This led to Culver only starting 35 out of the 63 games he played. This was his best season. He averaged an inefficient 9.2 points per game while not providing much more, as he just shot 40% from the field. He also shot terribly from the line at 46.2%. So after a disappointing rookie season, it was time for him to take that sophomore leap to look like a solid young player. However, all his minutes had just been taken by first overall pick Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is also a guard, and Jarrett Culver was immediately replaced. Outside of disappointing play, Jarrett Culver was never healthy. He played 63 games his rookie season, and that was his highest season total. After just 2 seasons in Minnesota, he went to the Grizzlies and then signed to the Hawks the next season, just to be out of the league in 4 short years. From 2020 to 2023, he played a total of 78 games and only started in 8 over 3 seasons. Now he's in the G League, being forgotten by most NBA fans. In 2021 alone, he had 4 ankle or foot injuries, and he was just never healthy. It was probably a good thing that Ant has overshadowed how disappointing Jarrett Culver has been. However, it's not really his fault. He was drafted in a situation that was awkward for him to fit in and to develop and grow, as he was never healthy. He never got the chance he deserved for being the 6th overall pick, becoming one of the most forgettable lottery picks of the past 5 years. Unfortunate for Culver, as I wish he worked out in the NBA, but it seems he will go down as a forgettable bust. His title as the Wolves star was snatched right in front of him, as he was never given the chance to prove himself in the league. Andrew Wiggins was one of the most high prospects of all time, being the first pick in the 2014 draft with names like Embiid and Jokic. He was deemed as the next Kobe or Jordan, Maple Jordan. He was supposed to be the next NBA superstar in the face of the league. His athletic ability and his frame was something the NBA believed would dominate similar to Kobe and MJ, and after being part of the Love trade in 2014 due to LeBron heading back to Cleveland, it looked like Wiggins was going to be the Wolves' brand new superstar. After winning Rookie of the Year and being a very promising player, it looked like the Wolves had found their guy. Adding Cat in the first pick and a young Levine to this core, the Wolves looked to dominate for the next couple of years. Despite how great Andrew Wiggins was individually, his playstyle never really led to winning basketball. Throughout his tenure in Minnesota, he never really improved as well, only his scoring averages, but he became inefficient, taking 19 shots a game just to average 23.4 points in his best season. He was a good player, but he definitely didn't live up to the hype of becoming the next Jordan or Kobe. He was too good to be a bust, but he was too mediocre to become a success. Cat had taken over the role, becoming the star as he played second fiddle most of his career in Minnesota. After just 5 seasons with the Wolves, he was traded to the Warriors mid-season, where he made an All-Star game later on, and he was a large part to why the Warriors won the chip in 2022, and he has somewhat revived his public perception. However, just after a disappointing 2023 season, it seems like he has fallen back to just being another solid scoring role player. Now enter Anthony Edwards, a high-flying prospect that looked to be the franchise-changing player for the Wolves in 2020. Ever since he got into the league, he has only risen up to the level he is at right now, a top 10 player. He, along with Ja, is one of the most electrifying and explosive athletes the NBA has seen in a long time. He's been able to lead the Wolves to great success and become the true face of the Wolves for the decade to come. He's improved every year in the league, whether it be his defense, scoring, or playmaking. He took the mantle from Cat and became the next Timberwolves legend. Anthony Edwards had taken up on Andrew Wiggins' legacy. He was everything we thought Wiggins would be, with a lot more confidence and personality to him. He has the explosive athleticism, the ability to lead a team, and the hype around and become the face of the league. All the promise Andrew Wiggins had come into the league is the same thing we're seeing now with Ant, even with the MJ and Kobe comparisons. He's become a fan favorite and has seen more success than Wiggins has ever seen with the Wolves. He seems to fit a lot better with the team, especially with Cat. Anthony Edwards has quickly overshadowed the disappointment of Jarrett Culver as well. Through a slew of injuries after an underwhelming rookie season, the Wolves replaced him with Ant very quickly, from being the next Jimmy Butler and saving the Wolves to being an afterthought on the Grizzlies in just 2 short years should be one of the most interesting bust stories of all time. But Ant playing the same position took his spot and potential stardom so quickly, Jarrett Culver's career got overshadowed almost instantly. The Wolves finally have their next elite NBA superstar that talks trash and can back it up if he wants. He has all the potential in the world and become the face of the league, as he can go down as a Wolves legend and potentially pass KG, as he is just 22. However, it took the Wolves just some time before they got their perimeter star. After buying into the hype of Andrew Wiggins and then pivoting to Culver, who got derailed by injuries, Ant has taken the mantle of being the next face of the franchise. As the seasons go on with Ant manning the ship, Wolves fans and the NBA should reflect on the journey it took to get their star. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe.